welcome for everyone, those of you who are in this lunch break and are a little bit curious about the art project, which Gabriele Abels already introduced you a little bit. Some of you who already have been part of this academic conference already yesterday, they already heard a little bit about it. And right now, actually, we just want you to give the opportunity to give a bit more background to the project called Outer Space Transmitter, for those of you who haven't heard it yet, and a little bit about the cooperation, and for you to give some comments and remarks, or maybe you have some questions to the artist, because maybe some introductory remarks to that. Why actually are we talking about an art project within the framework of an academic conference? I myself, I'm part of the research project Regiopar, which is a cooperation partner also of this conference, and I'm in this framework responsible for all things related to arts and culture. And we initially, as a research project which is exploring the role of regional parliaments in the EU governance, in the EU multilevel system. One part of this, or in this greater framework, is also the dialogue about Europe with citizens. So that's why we were thinking about a different kind of approach to start the debate, or to approach the debate about Europe in a maybe innovative and more accessible way. And that is why we were thinking, as you are all here now, actually you occupy yourself with Europe and the debate about Europe, most of you for a living. So we are sure that all these interesting and different contribution papers which were presented in this conference might also work as a kind of impetus to reflect a little bit, or to take part in this art project. So that is why we actually wanted to introduce you to this different kind of different kind of approach, this artistic dialogue, and to look at the debate about Europe from a rather different perspective. And before the artist now, Mona Schulzek, she's here as well, presents and tells you a little bit more what this is all about. I really just want to invite you during this two-day conference, also today, you are all invited to be part of this artistic experience. You have actually the unique opportunity to create art together with the artist. She will explain how this works, and at the same time, you be part also of this in maybe different kind, innovative contribution to the debate about Europe. So, as I said, how this works, what this is all about, and what is actually the Outer Space Transmitter. This, I think, is the best that the creator of the artwork, Mona Schulzek, explains this herself.
Thank you, Sarah. And hello, everybody. My name is Mona Schulzek, and I'm happy to present my project to you. I'm an artist, and I'm interested in the relationship between human and their environment, which I call Midwelt. With my dialogical artwork, Outer Space Transmitter, I combine this approach with the question of the European identity. Now I will share my screen for you. One moment, please. This is a picture of the futuristic antenna. It is a functional parabolic antenna that I built, through which messages can be sent into space. The antenna travels to public places in different European regions and invites people to approach Europe from a personal perspective. The leading question is, what does it mean to be a citizen of the European Union? Out of the answers, I create art images that will be sent through the antenna into space. So today you have the possibility to send your thoughts on a journey through outer space. Just visit the website outerspacetransmitter.art and type in your message. I will then translate it into a self-invented character set and create an individual artwork and send it into space. The very interesting and fascinating thing about that is that radio waves move through the universe and have an endless lifespan. In this way, the artwork becomes a message for eternity and possibly gets found one day as artifacts of our time. The dish diameter is 2 meters and the whole antenna is 350 meters high. It was important to me that the antenna is higher than the eye level. And the silhouette of the person shows the size in relation. This is an example of an electromagnetic art image. I interpret the content of each entered message visually and then create a particular text image from it. The image is then translated into this character set, which I created by myself. In this way, the personal messages are converted into a multitude of individual art images based on the text of the participant and expressed through the language of art. I believe that a lot of people, including myself, feel the urge to know who we really are and where we are in this expanding space out there. I want to give the chance to reach out and send personal messages into space, hoping that some life out there will find these pieces of electromagnetic art. The question about the regional and European identity became the leading impulse for this project. And the universe is a place full of questions and uncertainties, an unknown place filled with a lot of personal ideas and visions, which is probably inhabited by other forms of life on other planets. This is very important for the concept of my project, because I think that you will experience an immense change of perspective if the addressee of your message could be not human but extraterrestrial. Because how could you tell somebody that doesn't have any knowledge about Europe and about being human what it means to be citizen of the European Union? Regarding the communication with extraterrestrial forms of life, there's one more thing which is really important to me. The attempt to get in contact with extraterrestrial life has been carried out so far only by the language of science. For this, NASA sends binary codes and atomic schematics into space, believing that these scientific laws are universal and will be understood by aliens. Yeah, but I have another approach. I perceive art as a universal language. I believe that the abilities of every intelligent life form to reflect and abstract are expressed through art. In this sense, the visual messages of the outer space transmitter can be interpreted as artifacts of an intelligent and creative species. So the language of art is the key to communicate with extraterrestrial life forms. And that's why I try to get in contact with aliens through electromagnetic art. Now we want to show you a short animation clip. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mona, for this short presentation and also for the animation clip. Maybe some of you are a little bit more curious or on this project and also on this digital experience. I don't know if there are so far maybe some questions or comments about approaching this dialogue through art. If not, maybe I can make some short remarks about this cooperation between our research project, let's say research, and this artistic dialogue, or why we chose to do that. As it is maybe a little bit unconventional for a research project. Yeah, as I said, we really put great emphasis on a dialogue with citizens about Europe. We are a participatory research project. Also, we have an exchange with regional MPs during workshops. This is part of our research as well. So really this interaction with people being political actors or people who are at the center actually of this debate, the citizens, this is very important to us. So especially this was already a topic yesterday, the conference on the future of Europe is starting this Sunday. And we were really thinking about how we can get this debate or a general debate about Europe to citizens and more precisely into their region. That means meeting them really in their everyday realities, in their respective environments, and really to share their personal perspectives on the EU. So to create this personal experience of Europe, in fact, in their region. Why do we believe that art can be an innovative contribution or an addition and have an added value? I think one important thing about when debating about Europe is this challenge to get really a full picture of the EU or perspectives on that, as this is nowadays or a really nuanced and contested issue in the public discourse. And I think this is really also a challenge for the Conference on the Future of Europe to reach out to people and regions who are not necessarily involved in EU politics or even without prior extensive knowledge about the polity itself. So these are some considerations we had when thinking about how to approach this. And I believe that art can be really an innovative way to approach any discourse, but especially when it is that complex. One main reason for that is that first and foremost, there is this aesthetic experience which is centered around Europe, and for that, as the recipient of art is actually first of all confronted with the artwork, it might trigger some individual and spontaneous reflection on the topic, and yeah, that way kind of create a clean slate for open thoughts and individual perspectives. So in that sense, this can contribute that maybe in contrast to a more institutionalized setting, to really capture individual point of views and at the same time also give a kind of an insight in these everyday realities. To look at when we are looking at the outer space transmitter itself, now we are doing this in a digital format due to the pandemic, but when you think about actually you have this huge antenna in the middle of your city or your urban region. Mona said it, I think it's 3.5 meters high. So it's really impressive. You're struck by it and you don't know what's happening actually. And so piece by piece, you get confronted with the question, what does it mean to be a citizen of the European Union? You get really from a different kind of way you approach this debate. And I think this is one important thing. It aims really to go into regions, into urban regions, but also in rural regions, reaching out to people. And at the same time, as it is an aesthetic experience, it's very personal, is that you really you pause for a moment. This is actually the beauty of it. And you consider, you reflect on the issue, maybe about, you know, what are actually, how do I perceive myself, maybe also about your the European identity itself. Yes, and I think this is really a possibility, or also maybe the project aims to encourage people to think out of the box, to lead with their personal perspective on living in the European Union. And this really might get lost in a broader political debate, in an institutionalized setup, because, as I said, participating in an art project is really getting back to the basics, back to the individual. And maybe we can see some commonalities in the different messages. You can see or differences, as all of the messages who are really actually sent to outer space are also published and shown anonymously, I have to say, in the archive on the website of the project. Yeah, and that's why I mentioned the conference on the future of Europe. This is not a different approach in that sense. I think it's rather a part of it. This artistic dialogue can really give an added value, add another layer to the discourse. And I think especially a point of thinking out of the box, when we think about the discussion yesterday evening about building Europe from below, and taking people's, let's say, disenchantment with politics into consideration. This might make people curious to look from a different perspective on the debate about Europe. Yeah, so maybe a little bit about our background, why we do this, and I really can only encourage you to take part in it, to think about what does it mean to be a citizen of the European Union for you, and share your thoughts. You have the unique opportunity to do so. This is in contrast to all the other different approaches, maybe by the NASA, where only a small circle of people participates in these adventures, let's say. Now you have the possibility to be part of that. And so yeah, as I think Mona, as once you said it, it's kind of democratizing this privilege. So yeah, I think this is really a different kind of approach. And maybe one last remark. I'm not that maybe not that artistically gifted as Mona is, but now you can also have the possibility to create art when sending a message. When Mona transforms it into an art image and sends it to outer space. Yes. So I don't know if there are any questions or remarks about this artistic approach, what you think of that, or as it is a rather complex process. I don't know if there are some question marks, but feel free to add some remarks or some questions if you want to. I don't know, Mona, if you have something else to add, maybe about the project, or
I just posted the address of the website into the chat, so everybody could click on it and join us.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe one question I was thinking, Mona, or you said it, you created a character set, especially for sending or translating the messages. Can you say maybe 2 or 3 words about that? Why? Because maybe some of you noticed who are there is only the letters A to Z and no, for example, I don't know how you say that. Umlaute in German, you would say. So maybe because actually it's meant as it is meant the outer space transmitter to travel through Europe. The website will be also later on be available in different languages, so that really everyone can participate in their mother tongue. So maybe Mona, you can say some 2 or 3 words about the character set.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's a set of letters from A to Z, from 0 to 9, and some punctuations. And each message is translated into this character set, which means that every letter of the Latin alphabet is transformed into one symbol. And the reason why I did that was to bring the different languages of Europe into one visual form, to uniting these different languages.
Thanks. Yeah, if there are no further questions and no further comments on this artistic dialogue so far, as I said, I really I think Mona's looking forward to your messages. I really encourage you to take the ride and get on this artistic experience and to share your messages with the universe and also with us here on Earth and in the archive, let's say. So we are really looking forward to this.
Thanks, everybody.
So I would leave you now to the final minutes of the lunch break. And if you have any further questions concerning the artwork, you can also go on the website. There you can see something or some more information, detailed information, which also Mona presented. And otherwise, I really want to wish you some interesting debates further on now in session number 3. And have for now already, I wish you all a nice weekend.